Welcome to this new review. Given our passion for food and quality service, this time we decided to dedicate an entire review to a culinary experience. Are you curious? Stay with us. We take you to visit the Cinc Sentits restaurant in Barcelona, and more precisely the chef's table. We were torn about whether or not to choose the chef's table and wonder if it was really something special. To date, our answer is absolutely yes. We arrive a few minutes early and wait outside the restaurant because guests are welcomed one table at a time. And finally, our turn comes. We are near the entrance for a standing aperitif. She brings us compressed wipes, which, with the addition of water, allow us to refresh our hands and prepare for this exciting evening. The waitress attracts our attention by bringing an aperitif that is beautiful to look and good to taste. 3 very tasty and balanced small snacks paired with a local vermouth. The welcome was very good, and this made us start the evening well. Having a person who takes the time to explain to us with care and attention what we are about to taste is very appreciable. At this moment, we feel like the only guests of the restaurant. We walk towards our table, more and more curious to see and discover the surprises that await us. We arrive in the room dedicated to the chef's table and immediately notice the large window that shows the kitchen and the chefs at work, while preparing the aperitifs we have just tasted. It is impressive to see live the organization of the brigade and the precision put into every little detail of the dish. Everyone has their own task and is aware of what to do.
A good glass of champagne accompanies these 3 very curious entries. The first surprise is found in the consistency of the flour. Would you say that is a tuna tartare? The second in the taste of the liver. It seems to eat foie gras, even if it's only the taste that reminds you of it. Finally, the consistency of the panna cotta, very compact. The bread is served with butter and 2 qualities of oil, with different fermentation durations. Simona prefers a stronger one, while I prefer the more delicate one. We start our tasting menu with raw shrimp, which is left to rest in salt for 1 hour and then wrapped in a seaweed for another 12 hours. Mayonnaise made with shrimp head and white wine jelly, peach sphere infused with spirulina, garlic sauce, and almond milk accompany the dish in a very balanced way. Together with the almond chunks and spheres of frozen almond milk, we can find the right sweetness, crunchiness, but also freshness and acidity given by the white wine. We were very impressed with this course, particularly with how just one ingredient can be used to make up a great dish. Here the pumpkin is the real protagonist. We find it in different shapes and textures. A touch of crunchiness given by some fried lentils accompanies everything well. We continue our tasting journey with the fruit protagonist of the season, the chestnut, which together with the sweet potato made up the dish. The smokiness feels very good, but is contrasted in a balanced way by the sweetness and taste of the other element of the dish. Here we find the sweet potato cut very finely and rolled on itself. Then roasted in butter that almost reminds us of the taste of a croissant. Let's continue with the trout. In some ways, it can be reminiscent of tuna belly. The composition of the dish is also particular. a crown of raw trout on the outside that encloses the cooked belly of the trout served as a mousse. The flavor of the trout raw, combined with the surprising taste of saffron, stunned us. They are quite intense flavors, but together they work perfectly.
We arrive at the carnivore's dish. The reindeer is left to rest for 12 hours inside the chocolate at 70% cocoa. We were presented with the entire rack before it was cut. The taste is intense. Certainly the chocolate increases intensity. The carrot looks great, giving a perfect sweetness without invading the dish. Fake sherry is filled with reindeer cuts, a gem that leaves a sweet and savory mix in the mouth. We cross half of our journey with a shot drink altogether: maple syrup, cream, and a citrus eggnog at the base, a pinch of salt to complete. Combination works. It starts with an almost bitter note, then comes the salt and then the syrup. The slight acidity of the citrus cleans the fat of the eggnog, preparing the mouth for the sweeter path. But instead of dessert, we get fennel in the form of panna cotta and a fennel oil in the center. Not sweet, almost on the sweet note, but not to be able to categorize it as dessert. Once again, a single ingredient protagonist of the dish, simply refreshing. The moment of dessert, however, comes with the fig. A walnut praline supported by a slightly salted biscuit. The fig is served in 3 different seasonings, from the freshest to the driest. They are the ones who make this sort of fermentation that lasts 12 hours, and another 6 hours to enrich the flavors. The hibiscus gives that floral note that perfectly marries the sweetness of the fig and the flavor of the biscuit. Here too we see the huge amount of research behind each product. The raspberry mousse is a cloud, and the biscuit with olive oil gives us that sweet note, sweet like the memory of this wonderful evening, which however unfortunately comes to an end. Or not entirely. In fact, we are given a small tube to enjoy the next day. It is a memory of the chef from when he was a child.
This is our first YouTube review of a restaurant. If you have looked at our other reviews, you know very well that we point out any mistake made and that we do not accept compromises. As in any experience, positive or negative, it can be a matter of luck or bad luck. But on the other hand, this is how reviews work. The combination, tastes, and presentation are not the result of luck, but of great research. We don't want to talk about the food any longer, so let's talk about the stuff. Attentive, professional, but also friendly and never intrusive. During the reindeer dish, we spent a little more time with the sommelier. The dish was served to us by the waiters, who then left the room. At the end of our conversation about the wines, the sommelier was able to tell us the dish without any problem and in all its details. This is not a given. Speaking of wines, the portions were perfect for us. The pairing worked well, but above all, we didn't arrive at the end of the evening drunk, and we enjoyed the dinner. The sommelier's most emblematic phrase was that the quality of a wine is not always linked to a price. Many restaurants should reflect on this concept. It is also rare to find a sommelier who knows how to pair a dessert with a non-sweet wine. Here it was possible, and we were very happy with the proposed pairing. All the waiters were exemplary, not to be underestimated by the fact that we were recording and this can easily intimidate people. Despite this, they were all up to the task. Our opinion is that they really did a perfect job. Our only suggestion could be to introduce the chef and maybe even the brigade at the end of the evening. This is not criticism, but just an idea. And here we are at the end of this review. We would like to know your idea about this new type of video, so don't be shy and write your comments. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media.